What's up, guys? Today in the Netherlands it's King's Day and it's almost 10 p.m. but I'm still here. I'm still at home. I've had some time to prepare for the match against Sasha because I haven't been feeling too well. But yeah, against Sasha, like I said, and Sasha is the manager of the Swannasea cities. The Swannasea cities? No, Swannasea city. So yeah, and he's also known as Master Swift on Twitter. So that's a thing. I'll go over his draft first. I have my other laptop on this side of me, and his squad started with the first pick Scissor, and Scissor is solid as fuck. Scissor is just a normal Scissor. Scissor has the wood punch, which is scary. It's got U-turn, it gets sword stem, don't pass, it gets a lot of stuff, superpower. I don't know. Yeah, it can go bulky, it gets default, it can go bulky, it can go purely offensive, so hey, you gotta be on the lookout for that. His second pick is Slowbro, and Slowbro again, solid mob, definitely solid. Defensively, it's a boss. It gets also a lot of coverage on the offensive side, and it gets stuff like the wave and slack off, and I don't know, something to be just annoying as fuck and be good at being annoying as fuck. His third pick is Mega Man Nectric. Mega Man Nectric is one of the fastest mons on the entire game right now, without like boosted item. And Mega Man Nectric is this, I don't know, it has the coverage to break my team as well. It often lacks power in the OU metagame, but he might have some plan with Mega Man Nectric to, I don't know, win against me. I'd say, I don't know. Anyway, his fourth pick, Arcanine. Arcanine as well versatile because Arcanine gets some pretty good moves as a defensive one, a defensive fire type, and as an offensive fire type as well. So yeah, that's kinda, I don't know what he's gonna bring. So if he's gonna bring it, that is. But that's something I have to keep in mind, I guess. Yeah, he can be offensive and he can be defensive. Anyway, his fifth pick, God of War, and God of War is probably maybe the biggest threat to my team as it stands. God of War can be a defensive set, it can be an offensive set, and offensive set can be something like Don't Call Mine, which I fear, and it can be a Scarf, Trick Scarf maybe, which I also kind of fear. So God of War is, I hope he isn't gonna bring God of War, but he definitely might. His next pick, his sixth pick I think, yeah, sixth pick is Terrakion, and Terrakion is scary. It's a sixth pick, so it's still around it, but it's pretty cool. But Terrakion is offensively so powerful. It's so powerful and so fast. So I need to prepare for that. It's also for him Stealth Rocker. It gets stuff like Taunt. It gets just the coverage to break my whole team. You get Poison Jab, Iron Head, Axe Scissor, Earthquake, Dual Step, name it. So definitely a threat. Definitely one of his biggest threats. Seventh pick I think we had is Tangrowth, and Tangrowth completes his regenerated core with Slowbro. And Tangrowth as a mon itself, it's solid as fuck. It's solid as fuck. It gets like stuff like Sleep Powder. It can be a Soul Fest, I guess. It can be Specs. It can be, I don't know, Bandit. It can be annoying. So that's stuff I don't like. At least if I had it on my team, I would be happy. But it's on his team, so I don't like it. His 8th pick, Gastrodon. Gastrodon very solid. It's of course very weak to grass, but that's kind of its only weakness. So it's a very solid mon as it comes to synergy. I don't know if it's gonna bring it versus me because I do have the superior, which scares it out a big time. And he doesn't have any direct counters, I guess. I mean, Arcanine could be a counter. And Rodofan could be a counter. So, and even Scissor, I guess. Not Scissor as much, but the other two, yeah. But yeah, he has Gastrodon, which is solid as fuck. It gets a few, I apparently clicked something. I don't know. It gets some solid moves in coverage wise and just recovery and toxic and I don't know, stuff like that. And his last two picks are Rotom Fan, and which Rotom Fan I just said, but Rotom Fan is annoying as fuck because Rotom Fan has a really good typing. I don't know, I might have underprepared for this in this team. Rotom Fan can be defensive and can be offensive, and I fear both. I'm gonna be honest, I fear both. So maybe I fear the defensive variant a little bit more, but I fear both. So yeah. And his last pick is Cresselia. And Cresselia just ew. I guess you describe it with one word, and it's ew. Obviously, Solidmon as a sweeper, like a Power Mine sweeper, either substitute or maybe a rest even, in case I want to status it. It gets Moonlight, it gets Moonblast, which kind of shits on my team together with the Psyshock, or Psychic. So, it gets dual screens, it gets Lunar Dance, it can do whatever it wants to. So hey, I don't like it, but it's a thing I have to face and I have to beat. So yeah, I'm quickly gonna grab some notes. I think Sasha will bring, for sure actually, he'll bring Terrakion, Scissor, Crusadia and Manectric. I'm pretty positive he's gonna bring those. Now I don't know what the other two ones are. Like I said, I fear the God of War and the Rotom Fan the most. I didn't prepare for him as much because I don't think he'll bring both. I honestly think he'll bring Tangrowth and Arcanine. Arcanine I'm not too sure, it could be Rotom Fan in that slot, but I think he'll bring those two. As I said, I don't know the sets in the tape, but yeah, those six I think he's gonna bring. I don't know. I found some notable flaws in his team that I hopefully can make use of, because his only hazard remover is actually Scissor, and Scissor is its defogger. It's, I guess, kinda slow, it's 65 base speed, non-mega, and it means that he cannot be a sweeper if he is the, well, it can be I guess, but if he's the defog set, so hey, that limits his Scissor in a way. Also, his Terrakion is his only stealth rock and only hazard type setter thingy. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier for me, because if it is a stealth rocker, it could be like Sash stealth rocks, which I think he used in the first match, week 1. But it could be like that, and that means it couldn't be Scarf, for example. I guess it could be Scarf, but most likely. And it also limits his move pool. He might not run like Iron Head, he might not run X-Scissor, he might not even run Dual Stab at this point. So yeah. Let's see. No Ghost Resist. He has 3 Ghost weaknesses in the form of God of War, Cresselia and Slowbro. And no weakness, no resist. So I'm gonna hopefully make some use out of that. I hope, yeah, I said. And he has no T-Spec absorber in general. He needs to defog them away if he wants to get rid of the T-Specs. He doesn't have any grounded poison types or poison types in general. So he's got a few levitators or flyers which are not affected by T-Specs, of course. But yeah, I fear, like I said, the Terrakion the most, together with now the God of War, and I fear the Rotom Fan as well. And Manectric forces a lot of stuff on my team to be bulky or outspeeded. I did change something on my team. I don't know if it's for the best, and I'll have to see. I have to wait and see, but I'll come down to that in a moment. Yeah, my team. I lead off with the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is kind of a counter-ish to Terrakion. This set does not die to any type of move from Terrakion the first. Like if I face it one-on-one, even an Adamant Bandit Earthquake will not take me down, and an Earth Power will do a massive amount to back to Terrakion. It doesn't OHKO necessarily. It has a little bit over 50% chance to OHKO, I think. But I don't know what set he's running. He might be running like a Dawn set and preventing me from setting up my Toxic Spikes. So yeah, Nidoqueen is basically the counter to Terrakion I'm using. It has some speed investment to outspeed Rotom if it's not speed invested at all, which might be useful and might bite me in the ass, I guess, if it's like a bit set, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, the Earth Power is just to hit Terrakion the hardest. Flamethrower is because, like I said, Scissor is his only default, so the toxic spikes are there to, he can't remove them versus my, like when he's facing my Nidoqueen with the Scissors. That's the thing, that's a nice thing. Also, Sludge Wave is versus the, for against the Gardevoir. I could have run something like Ice Beam to hit the Rotom fan and the Tangrowth, but I think Sludge Wave is, like I said, I fear the Gardevoir the most actually, so Sludge Wave is the choice I went with. And yeah. Next up is Reuniclus, and I haven't nicknamed these, but they will be nicknamed in the video where you'll see them. Reuniclus is my leftover Scald Might Recover Shadow Ball Psyshock Reuniclus with overcard ability to not be able to fall asleep by sleep power from Tangrowth, as I do not outspeed Tangrowth in any way, shape or form unless I would be running a Trick Room set, which I considered. But I went with this, I felt a little bit safer with this set, and yeah, I hope Reuniclus is gonna put in work again, and I think it might. Depends on if he tricks my Scarf or not. I feel that's his best way of stopping me for, so yeah, I don't know, he might have prepared with like a Bandit Tangrowth, but our Bandit Arcanine Crunch, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Might be running like Taunt Gardevoir, like I said, and that shit's on my Reuniclus as well, so don't comment, please don't bring that. Next up is my Wall Breaker, and my Wall Breaker is the Defiant Tornadus, and I'm running Defiant because he has 2 Intimidators, and you know, might scare him. He might scare him, he might think that he's in trouble because I'm a Defiant, I get a boost, I don't know. I'm fully special though. Hurricane, Heat Wave, Crash Knot. Someone's home. Pause. My apologies, my little brother actually got home and my parents are home. They're both downstairs. So, yeah, he kind of, you know, I'm using his laptop and he doesn't even know, so. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I was with Tornadus, and Tornadus being my Wall Breaker. With the Hurricane hits shit for massive damage here, I get. Heat Wave, Scissor, I guess. Grass Knot versus his Terrakion with the Okos. It also does like 66% to a non-assault rest, obviously. Fully physically defensive. It does 66% to Slowbro. And it's for Blaster Damage because that's I really don't think it's Blaster. But I do have the Grass Knot in case he does, and I have the AC Wind. I could have run something like U-turn or maybe a physical move with Defiant, but I'm running Icy Wind for the possible Mega Epic switching, if it's already Mega up, obviously. And versus the Rotom Fan switching, which I'm pretty sure he's gonna be one of them, definitely, maybe even so. It might become crucial, I don't know, it might be really useful in a late game matchup. I don't even know. I have the scenarios in my head, but I don't know if it's gonna play out like that, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Icy Wind. Next up is Flareon. Flareon, its nickname is Sparky. It's making its debut of the week too. And he's a baton passing, wishing, toxicking, flower blitzing guy with a very weird AD spec if you look at it at first. But hopefully it makes sense after my explanation. The baton pass is just for momentum. The toxic is for stuff like Cresselia, which is bulky, and in general nothing takes a toxic except for Scissor, but Scissor I obviously can't Flare Blitz to that. I also chose Flare Blitz over something like Lava Plume because it does, with this set, with the Adamant Nature No Attack set, it does over 25% to Cresselia. with max defense, so it cannot set up substitutes if it so desires. And yeah, that's mainly the attack investment for. Also the defense and the SPDF investment. SPDF investment is just to be able to live as many hits as of the other as can. There's this defense investment is to take scarfed side shots from Quarterback. And I mean, with this defense investment, it will most definitely have the timid version, the timid side shocks from God of War. Not comfortably, but it will live to them at full. If it's models, then I might still be fun. We'll have to wait. Then the speed investment is just to, if it's necessary, outspeed and KOs. If it's running a no speed investment at all. So. Next up is Hydreigon, and Hydreigon, this used to be a scarf set to check the Manectric. It used to be, like I said, I changed it. It's another special defensive mode. It beats a Magnetic for one. It also beats, it doesn't necessarily beat many things. It doesn't beat something like God of War. Which, I mean, I might still change this, you know, I don't know. I'm really not sure yet, because if it brings like God of War, and Magnetic, it can obviously easily fall switch on me and bring in God of War because I cannot hit it. Even a flash cannon barely, it doesn't even 50%. Maybe if I ran the, you know what, I might actually change it. If I ran like the steel type plate with the flash cannon. Maybe that hurts, I don't know, I can try. So you might see it changed, I guess. But also the Earth Power is for the Arcanine, which might be a thing. Terrakion, it might be a thing on the switching. Expecting like the Diablos. Yeah, the Magnetic, obviously. Which I don't know if like Flareon lives, Reuniclus lives, and Nidoqueen lives. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm still unsure, as you can see, but I'll figure something out. I'm facing Sasha on Wednesday, so. And last but not least is Gyarados. Its debut. It's just a very simple, very common Dragon Dance Ice Fan Earthquake Crunch set. The Jolly Nature to outspeed God of War, and +1 God of War, like a Scott God of War, and +1 Ice Type outspeed, and KO. This also outspeeds Mega Manectric. And yeah, that's basically the two things I have it for. If he brings Tangrowth, which he might definitely bring, that will be a very good stop to it. Despite, even if it's special, even if it's a Soul Festival, I don't know, it's a very good stop to Gyarados over here. But we'll have to see. Yeah, that's my team for now. I think it's capable of being definitely. I'll have to wait and see what he brings. You might have, in my commentary, you might have seen that I fear the God of War a lot. Actually a lot. Together with the Terrakion and the Magnetic, it's his offensive core, and I have 4 defensive months and I still feel unprepared. No, not unprepared, but just less prepared than I did last time, you know, and it's probably, I don't want to over-prepare either for certain things, so I'm gonna roll with this, and I'm gonna hopefully count on me being good at Pokemon to win the match, and me like knowing his, finding out what set he's running on sort of stuff. If he's running like a Life Orb set on a God of War, I don't even know if he ever came up with that idea. But if I find out that he's running something like that, then I know how to beat it accordingly. So I don't think there's anything else that I need to say. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a few seconds when I'm facing, at least the replay, of course, since I don't think I'll be facing him in a live match, since I don't think I have time to actually. I don't think I have the laptop to my to my, I don't think it's available. Let's just skip it. Anyway, see you guys in a few seconds. What's up, guys? I'm sorry for my appearance, but I just woke up. I figured it's 11:30 and someone's coming home at like 12, so I figured I would quickly make this video. And first of all, Hydreigon, this set you see on screen, is the one I used versus Swift, versus the Swannasea Cities team. And yeah, so I did eventually change up for the squad Hydreigon, and only because I was fearing his speed, his offensive speedy mount a little bit more than his defensive, of course. So yeah, and we're gonna go straight into the game because I already played him. I already played Master Swift, Sasha, and you'll see the battle in about a second. I will quickly pause the video. Okay, first off, you'll see his team, right? You can also see the chat now. Not much is going on in the chat, let's be honest. And during the whole battle there won't be much. His squad is basically exactly like I predicted him to bring. I expect him to bring Arcanine just to take some fire spam better. Maybe in case I brought like a Bandit Flareon. And yeah, but no, he didn't. Also just in general for the flash fire, maybe to pair up with Scissor. But no, he brought the biggest 6 threats on his team that I figured would be the biggest 6 threats on his team as well. So definitely a good read on his end on bringing those. On my end, I've brought the mons you've all seen already in this video, and I've already mentioned, I think, that if I predicted the squad to be like this, I was gonna predict him to bring out Terrakion as first, since that's his only hazard setter, and that's what I'm doing. As you will see, he's not gonna lead with Terrakion, and that is actually really good for me because Manectric actually does not have anything to hit me with. Maybe like a hit power of Psychic or Ground, I don't know, but no, in general, nothing really, and that's pretty nice. Because that means that Nidoqueen over here can set up Toxic Spikes for free. And honestly, predicted Cresselia, since Cresselia is the only thing that is really bulky enough to take anything. I got into my Sparky here, Sparky the Fire Dog, the Flareon, and like I said in my video, if this is like a sub-call mindset, I will always be able to break his color substitutes with the Flappets, and that's exactly what happened. I can also wish up and beat it one-on-one, I think. And as you'll see, he'll make a prediction here, predicting me to switch out into Hydreigon, probably. I think it's a bit unnecessary, since Hydreigon would have done anything with Dark +1 Cresselia. He goes for the Psychic, not making the same prediction. It works out for him since he gets a critical hit, so the old prediction works out for him. Not works out for him, but cancels himself out. I missed the Toxic, which is really unfortunate because that means that I lose Sparky over here. And he goes for the Psychic, does just enough for me to hit myself over 12%. I think I did 12% the first time. But yeah, so I take myself out. I don't have Protect on the Flareon set, so if I would have, maybe I would have gone for Protect if I did run it, but that would have given him another opportunity to set up a Calm Mind, so I don't know. And anyway, I lost the first money. I'm 6-5 behind, and that sucks. Now here, his Cresselia is weakened enough to be able to be taken down by a +1 crunch, like a Dragon Dance up from Gyarados and a crunch. Yeah. And so I go for the Dragon Dance, not Megaing up, because if you wanted to go for Moonblast, predicting me to Mega up, then I Mega up right here. The Intimidate from the Gardevoir is really a really good play on his part, actually. Then Manectric lives on a good amount of health, 1%, so yeah. At this end, his Manectric is taken down, by the way. That's huge, it's absolutely huge. And yeah, I mean, this was like the biggest threat in his team that, no, well, not the biggest. Looking at my team, I think I would have handled it really well. But I think it would have been a really crucial member on his team. And I also did not expect why he switched in Manectric in the first place, to be honest. Since it was not megaed up, it would have outspent regardless if it was Adamant, for example. And yeah, so on the turn he mega evolves, he still remains the outspeed, so he doesn't even know if I am Adamant or Jolly right now. Adamant at +1 does not outspeed Mega Manectric, but a Jolly variant does. So yeah, he loses one of his biggest threats, the fastest one on the field, which is really good for me because Gyarados is not the fastest one on the field and can do a buttload of damage to his team. Here he goes for the U-turn, I go for the crunch. I don't know if I should have gone for the Dragon Dance up to get my attack a little bit higher, but that would only have mattered if he wasn't banded, and I don't know if he was banded. I couldn't tell because I had not faced this scissor before. But yeah, I decided to just go for damage, and my Hydreigon is not running fire move on his on my Hydreigon. I'm not running fire move on my Hydreigon. So I figured I could beat it a little bit better if I weakened it enough to the point where Dark Pulses would take it down. So yeah, continuing, he goes for the U-turn. I get some damage off on him. As he goes into the Gardevoir, I'm now mega up, so the Intimidate is no longer in effect. And I go for the Crunch, does a decent chunk of damage, and as he finished me off with a Moonblast. Now going into a Reuniclus, setting up a Calm Mind, knowing that I am able to set up a Calm Mind. And here I go for the recover, just scouting for what the Scissor was going to do. If it was going to U-turn or if it was going to knock off. So yeah. Here it's a crucial play, as you see in the chat. He mentioned this was the play that would cause or lose in the game. Meaning that Reuniclus obviously is the big threat on his eyes, in his to his team. So I predict him to trick the Scarf with Gardevoir and go into my Hydreigon, which is it was like an obvious play, and Hydreigon is not too crucial, so if you would predict that, it wouldn't be too much of a big deal, you know. He goes into Terrakion, and this is actually I didn't actually at this point didn't know what to do, because I figured he would bait me to go, since he knows I'm Scarfed now. I was Scarfed beforehand, but he knows for sure I'm Scarfed. I figured he was gonna bait me into going for a Flash Cannon or Earth Power, depending on what I would run. I don't know if he knows, maybe I ran Surf, but I figured he was gonna go into Cresselia on the for sure not Dark Pulse. That didn't happen. He actually just stayed in, and I get a great chunk of damage off as he takes me down in close combat. So I'm actually really happy with this trade-off. I don't mind it at all, since Hydreigon was not useful to me, really. And Hydreigon actually did exactly the right amount of damage since my Tornadus gets a kill. And he brings in Tangrowth on the Tornadus, which I am actually okay with, totally, as I can just take him down with the Grass Knot on the following turn after the poison damage. As he brings in Cresselia, and Cresselia at this point is probably his win condition, so he needs to set up some Calm Minds. Here I do switch out. At this point I forgot that he had Moonblast, Psychic, Substitute and Calm Mind. I figured he was gonna be running Moonlight, but yeah, no, he doesn't run Moonlight. And I realized it doesn't run Moonlight at this point, since he Calm Minds up twice. So yeah, I went into my Reuniclus. Reuniclus should beat this one-on-one, especially since it doesn't run Shadow Ball, and mine does, so I figured I would be able to win this easily. But at this point, like, he's behind a Substitute, and a Shadow Ball at, like, if you were both +3 for example, or both +0, Shadow Ball just takes down the Substitute, that's a little bit over 25%. But with his boost, a Shadow Ball does not take down the Substitute. So yeah. Oh, the phone is ringing, shit. Can't take it. So yeah, kinda lost my trail of thought, but Oh, god damn it, be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know where I left the match, but oh yeah, it's just the Calm Mind Wars. I didn't like this because his Boom Blast could get a crit and that lose the game if he was behind substitute. So I was really feeling that at that point, and luckily I break his substitute right there and I take him down with the next hit well, which is really good. And now his last mon comes into play, and I had to. It was like 5:30 for me, and 5:30 is usually the time we start eating, like between 5:30 and 6. But my mom had to work in the evening, so I had to eat soon. Actually, my mom already called me for dinner, so. Meaning that I make a misplay over here and sack my universe. Actually, it was totally not necessary, as my Nidoqueen would just have taken everything I want to go for. If I want to set up a substitute, no problem. A substitute, I mean a sword stand, was no problem. If it was gonna go for a weird move that was super effective on Nidoqueen, even that would have been no problem. I like you can see the bullet punch does 27%, I believe, meaning that a +2 bullet punch would have done a little over 50%, and a super effective move would. Like if it was like an earthquake, would have done like nothing. Would have done maybe a little bit around 50%. I don't know, but I make a misplay by sacking you because hopefully it's not gonna come into play because it was a stupid move. And I hope I can remain my first spot this week despite me winning 2-0 instead of 3-0. Anyway, I finish off this scissor with my flamethrower. It's my safest play. Tornadoes could have been critted by the bullet punch, so I didn't want to risk that. And Nidoqueen finishes off the game. And yeah, as you can see on the side, he thought my Gyarados was actually adamant, meaning that this is card Gordofa without speed. And that's actually. That helped me out a bit, because that's probably why he switched out into Manectric on the on my +1 Gyarados. So yeah, I don't know. That might have been a big changer if you like miscalculated that. But yeah, I'm just happy I won. Also, I asked him why he didn't switch in the Tangrowth on the Gyarados, since Gyarados, despite me having Ice Fang, at neutral nature, or even at -1 nature, or even at +1 nature, it wouldn't have to hit KO'd him in any way. And he had probably de-regenerated. I don't know if he was running a different ability, but if he was regenerated, he would have easily soaked up my hits and forced me out, or forced me to sack Gyarados. So yeah, I don't know what's going on in his mind. Maybe he needed a Tangrowth for something specific. Maybe he figured my Reuniclus was so big of a threat that he wanted to put it to sleep. Forgetting that I have overcode, of course, but I don't know. I don't know his thought process, but yeah, that's basically anyway, that's basically the game. I won a 2-0 victory against the Swannasea City squad, and next up, next week we are facing Nacho, aka Heracross Shot. With the Texas Savage Taurus. He has a really scary looking squad. Not gonna spoilers. Gonna make spoilers about what he's probably gonna bring. But yeah, it's gonna be a good game, I assume. It's gonna be a good game. I think he is. I don't know about this week. I don't know if he's played yet, but he won a 3-0 victory. I think 3-0 victory, maybe a 2-0 victory over Carter, aka McCann, in the first week. So he's definitely a threat to be reckoned with. He's playing, this week he's playing Jesse, aka J-Bro, with the Orlando Helix, I believe. Or Orlando Fossil Helix, I don't know. I'm sorry, J-Bro.